Hello and welcome back to another video. Today is another Chelsea transfer news video with stories of the likes of Fikayo Tomori, yet again, maybe linked to AC Milan, but maybe over Mohamed Simikan after some recent news linked to Chelsea. So some of the loan players out on loan, and I'm going to be just talking about their performances and if we might recall some of them for the rest of the season. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so very quickly, starting off with Fikayo Tomori, I've reported a few days ago, pretty much every day, he's been linked to new clubs, and AC Milan look like another suitor that are interested in bringing in the 23-year-old centre-half due to his pace, and AC Milan are having a very good season over in Italy as well, so he might want to go, he might be interested in a move over there. However, they were saying that they would only make a move if they could not land their first or their priority target, who was Mohamed Simikan for Strasbourg, who's also a Chelsea target. So if AC Milan couldn't land him and Chelsea got him, then AC Milan would loan Tomori for the remainder of the season. However, in a game yesterday, Mohamed Simikan injured his knee, meaning that he'll be out for the foreseeable future, not 100% sure yet, which is kind of, I feel really bad for him because Chelsea aren't really interested in him anymore. AC Milan definitely aren't. So AC Milan have turned their attention towards Fikayo Tomori. According to Fabrizio Romano, AC Milan are talking to Chelsea as we speak over a deal, but they will need to fend off interest from other Premier League teams and some La Liga teams that are interested as well at the moment. It's been reported that Tomori's open to a move to Italy. Obviously, he's going to learn a lot playing in Italy for Serie A, and maybe just playing with the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic and just some of their players, and maybe he can go over there and try and persuade Gianluigi Donnarumma to come back with him at the end of the season. That would be great, wouldn't it? Milan are looking for an 18-month loan deal which would last to the end of this season and then another season, but Chelsea are just hoping for a six-month loan deal. However, the only thing is, in AC Milan or at AC Milan, he probably won't be getting as much game time as if he moved to Leeds or even Rennes. So I do see him moving to a current Premier League team like Leeds. I think Leeds is the best destination for Fikayo Tomori. Okay, so there's another 18-year-old wonderkid that Chelsea are interested in, and he goes by the name of Raul Moro. He's Spanish, and he used to be in the Barcelona La Masia academy, but currently plays for Lazio. He made his debut last season coming off the bench against Juventus and hasn't actually featured this season in the Serie A. However, there are a lot of clubs lining up to try and get him on the cheap. He looks to be their next best thing and plays on a wing, and he's a bit like Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's young, he's quick, he's very agile, and his trickery is second to none. He can pull out all the tricks. They're all in his closet. I don't know. I like the idea of going for a Raul Moro. We actually currently only have two out-and-out wingers, and that's Callum Hudson-Odoi and Christian Pulisic. Hakim Ziyech can play on the right, but he's probably best as a number 10, but we don't really play with number 10, so he is used out wide on the right. Callum Hudson-Odoi is finally finding his feet as well, and Christian Pulisic has come back from injury, but the addition of Raul Moro would definitely improve. I don't think he'd walk straight into the first team, but he'd learn a lot from the likes of Christian Pulisic. He could try and learn from Callum Hudson-Odoi how to break into the first team and really prove himself, and especially Timo Werner utilising his pace, Hakim Ziyech utilising the tricks. I think Chelsea would be the perfect destination for the young Spaniard. Okay, I just wanted to quickly mention, the other day Kepa Arrizabalaga tweeted saying he's very proud to have 100 appearances in a Chelsea shirt, and although he's not been the best, that's quite a landmark for him, 100 appearances. However, lots of fans were giving him stick, and I think that's just the wrong thing to do. He's not been great, I have to admit that. I would like to see him leave this January or summer, but he's not going to get any better if everyone gives him stick and tries to make him feel worse about himself. He's really stuck in a rut at the moment, and his confidence is not going to grow if people are just abusing him. especially his own fans. He had a solid performance against Morecambe. He didn't have to do much. Yes, it is League 2 Morecambe, but he made one save that I can't remember the lad's name. The guy that was on loan from Burnley tried to put in a cross and it almost snuck its way in, but he managed to utilise his weight and swung his legs around to keep the ball out of his own net. So that was a good bit of goalkeeping from him. And I don't know if Edouard Mendy could have done that due to his size, and he's not as agile as Kepa. So I think we just got to give him time. I would like to see him leave sooner rather than later, but he definitely doesn't deserve this unfair abuse. Okay, onto a bit of a happier note. Ethan Ampadu and Sheffield United got their first win in 20 games, I think it was, yesterday against Newcastle United. I was watching a game. Ethan Ampadu had a good, solid performance. They got the goal through Billy Sharp's penalty. They definitely deserved the win. And despite Ryan Fraser getting sent off for 2 yellows, they were a better team with 11 men for Newcastle. And when there was 10, Newcastle just had to sit back and hope they didn't concede. They had a good few chances and they could have been a bit more clinical, but Ethan Ampadu ended up getting the Man of the Match award. Ethan Ampadu's currently on loan from Chelsea, and I said the other day, if we don't land Rice this January, or even if we don't land him, if he wants to sell, I don't think he wants to stay at West Ham, but if West Ham refuse to sell him, we already pretty much have our own Declan Rice, as Ethan Ampadu can play centre back like Rice. He can also play in the number 6 role just like Rice. He's great at passing, and his performance against Newcastle yesterday, leading Sheffield United to their first win of the season, and Billy Sharp does believe that they can perform a miracle and get out of the relegation zone. And they had a great season last time out. No one expected them to do well, and they finished in the top 10, almost challenging for Europe. However, this season everyone has kind of figured out how to defend against the overlapping centre backs. But their first win in the season, hopefully they can build on that, and I'm just pretty happy for them. Okay, so now on to another loanee, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Scott Parker, the Fulham manager who Loftus-Cheek is on loan to this season, has stated that he's one of the best players that he's ever seen play. He said his natural ability is just out of this world, and despite having the horrible Achilles injury that he picked up a few seasons ago, or it might have been last season, I think it was a year ago this year, or was it 2 years ago? Might have been 2 years ago. Despite he tore his Achilles similarly to Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's managed to bounce back, and performing for Fulham he has been doing. He scored against Everton. I can't remember what the result was in that game, but Everton are looking like a very, very good team, backing it up by beating Wolves last night 2-1. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek is one of my favourite Chelsea players. That he doesn't currently play for Chelsea, but the way he drives with the ball, he sees the space and drives into it, using his power, using his strength, using his ability on the ball, all to his advantage, and his pace, driving into the space, and he can get the ball pulled back to him in the middle for a shot, very similarly to Frank Lampard. So I can't wait for Ruben Loftus-Cheek to recover and get back his confidence, and maybe try and break into the first team at Chelsea next season. Okay, lastly, the third and final loan player from Chelsea is Conor Gallagher, who is having a standout performance, a standout season for West Brom under newly appointed Sam Allardyce. He's been pretty much their only good player all season. He scored the most goals, and I think he's got the second best goal to game ratio, despite the person in second playing way less games. And Gallagher has pretty much been the only positive in West Brom's season so far, other than probably getting a point against Liverpool. And there is some talk of Chelsea potentially terminating the loan and try and either loan him out to another club, like, I don't know, Everton. They don't really need a midfielder, although Allen is out at the moment, or just try and put him back into the training with the first team, maybe try and break into the first team, just similarly to Billy Gilmore, as he has shown that he does have it in him to perform in the Premier League. However, I think it is best to keep him at West Brom, as if they lose Conor Gallagher, then their season's pretty much over the second he goes back to Stamford Bridge. as they need to do everything they can to keep hold of him. And also he's playing first team football week in, week out for under Sam Allardyce. And if he comes back to Chelsea, he's not going to be playing every week. We've already got tons of midfielders: Kovacic, Mount, Gilmore, Kante, Havertz, Jorginho. He's probably not going to be able to walk straight in. So I think keep him at West Brom for the end of the season and see what he can do next season in a Chelsea blue shirt. Okay, that is all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe if you're new around here, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on a single daily Chelsea transfer news video. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.